Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Stream PC. Guys, welcome to 2025. It is a new year. Let's just straight out the gate. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Yes, we took 2 months off. Yes, we wanted to, and you guys can't yell at us. You don't own us. We took 2 months off, guys. We took 2 months off, but it is February. We're back. We're locked and loaded. We're ready to go. I know it feels like it's already February. Why talk about it? But guys, it is a new year. What I want to talk about today is all the people that always say, New Year, new me. New Year, I'm setting goals. But as a streamer or a content creator, what, in your opinions, are the goods, the positives, the negatives of setting goals as a streamer or content creator? Sasha, you look like you're ready to say something. Look at you. He's just antsy. He's just like, yeah, I know everything. I got
Big without goals, you don't really know where you're going. You have to have a target, right? So that's first and foremost the most important thing.
Right.
But setting a realistic goal and understanding how to set goals is very important. Like if I'm a brand new creator, I'm not trying to become, freaking Ninja or Queso in the next month and a half, because that's probably not going to happen. And if that's my only goal, then I'm probably going to be kind of upset whenever it doesn't happen, right?
Right.
So make a realistic goal whenever you first start out. Like, hey, I'm going to create content that I enjoy. I'm going to get better and better as I go. And every time you create a video or every time you stream, make one thing a little bit better or something you want to change.
Yeah.
Now, I would recommend creating short-term, mid-term, and long-term goals. So maybe your long-term goal is that I want to be a Twitch partner. I want to be a YouTube partner. I want to be like Queso. Whatever it is, that's awesome. But you have to have goals on the way to get there. So just make sure you're smart about how you do it.
Yeah, so you're pretty much just saying, like, don't make a long-term goal into a short-term goal, basically.
Yeah.
Like, don't be like, I'm all right, we're gonna hit like 20,000 followers. That's my goal right now.
Mhm.
And you're at like maybe 200, 500, 1,000, whatever. That's considered long-term in my opinion. Instead you're like, you know what, let's if I'm at 500 now, let's shoot for like another 100 as a short-term goal, maybe, or another 200 for a short-term goal. Midterm, shoot for another 500 or another 1,000. Yeah.
See,
Keep it realistic.
I don't really like goals that focus on numbers as much. And the reason is because you can't control that number. That number comes directly from somebody else. Things you can control is your skill level in certain things. So, like, if I'm not very good at editing and I want to become an editor that is really good, then I have to work on that skill and have goals in that skill.
Yep.
And I can measure how much better I've gotten at editing a video from the beginning of the year to the end of the year.
Yeah.
And that has nothing to do with someone watching my video and enjoying my video and hitting a like button or subscribing, which those are nice things that make you feel good, but that's not something that's in your control, even though, quote unquote, that's the goal, right? But that is not something you can really measure your success with.
Yeah.
Be nice if we just had that little level up icon, that says, hey, you learned how to do this, and you just automatically just know how to do it. That would be awesome.
Great. It would be great if we could do that.
It would. I think it's a great thing that you guys were getting into right there is, like you're saying, like, don't worry about your follower number, and you're talking about don't worry about numbers, because it just happened to me the other day in chat where somebody was like, hey, you met your follower goal, and I was like, oh my god, I did. And it was like, I don't know, 760, 770, something like that. And somebody else in chat right behind them was like, you only have 700 something followers, and I'm about to celebrate my 3-year affiliate anniversary. I'm like, yeah, dude, I don't know what it is. I've talked about it on the pod before, and I'm just like, man, I feel like, I don't know if it's because I have vitiligo, people think I'm wearing makeup and just like immediately are turned off by me. Like, people just don't like me. I don't know why I don't get followers. And that's definitely a goal that I'm staying away from, period. Like, I set it up on the stream just to kind of help, like, maybe get the engagement of people wanting to help me reach that goal. That's the whole point of having goals on screen, on stream, is to kind of lure people in to want to help you. They want to support. Oh, he's one away from his follower goal. Let me be that one. People love stuff like that. That's why those tools are useful, but I'm not worried about it. Like, 2025, not thinking about my follower goal. I'm not looking at my sub amount on YouTube. Like those are things I'm done with. Like I'm looking at other numbers. I'm not saying I'm done looking at numbers. I'm just not looking at those numbers. Those numbers do not matter to me right now.
So what's a goal that you think a new creator or someone that's new to this industry to set?
I think
Focus on putting out. I would say focus on putting out content. Certain amount of shorts a day, or shorts a certain amount of shorts per week. Go live, once or twice a week. Set goals for that starting out.
How new are we talking, Sauce? Are we talking year, 6 months?
Let's say we have different levels, right? Obviously, you're gonna have people that are just starting this year. You're gonna have people that have been doing this and hitting their head against the wall for the last 2 years. So I honestly think they're all pretty much in the same space because you got to learn what you don't know.
Right.
Everybody does. So if you've been doing it for 2 years, hitting your head against the wall, obviously you didn't learn the things that you needed to learn beforehand. You might be
you should hit your head a little harder.
You might be great at streaming, which is fine. It's awesome to be great at streaming. And you have 2 years experience. Maybe you are a great streamer and it's just really hard to find you.
Yeah.
But you need to focus on making content other places and bringing people into your streams.
Yeah.
But I love what Lucky said is start creating content, make this amount of videos, make this amount of streams, because repetition is key to getting better at anything.
Absolutely.
Like if you want to get better cutting or with knife skills, you have to cut potatoes or onions consistently for a long time before you stop cutting yourself.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you learned a little
Muscle
tricks here
memory.
and there.
I mean, we're
Muscle memory
absolutely
is key.
0% sponsored by anybody, but if you're like new and intimidated of editing and stuff like that, there are AI tools, Opus Clip, Eclipse. There's so many now. I don't even know they're all their names anymore, but there are AI tools that'll go in and get tips for you. You can schedule if you want to pay a little bit extra towards their tool. They can schedule out, and you don't even got to lift a finger no more. You just stream, let the AI do it. If you want to pay the money, if you have the money to pay it, if you're a broke boy like us, you got to do everything by hand, do that. But I do agree with what
I
like
recommend doing it by hand because you learn so much more doing it by hand.
Those skills are
and getting better at it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Especially like if you blew up overnight and then all of a sudden you have an editor now, and now you don't know what your taste is. You don't know what your signature is. You don't have anything. So how you direct that person to make your stuff, But I don't know. If you're new, my suggestion would be like if you're I think 6 months or less, make sure you're comfortable on camera. Just be comfortable. Be comfortable. I think the best thing said, and I believe it's the U.S. Marines. Get comfortable. Be comfortable being uncomfortable. That's like their whole slogan when you're training. Is just like you have to. I know it's SEALs. It's the SEALs to say that. You have to be comfortable being uncomfortable. Because what I do a lot is when I see new streamers, they still seem awkward on camera, and that's not a poke at their personality. They look like they don't want to be on camera, and if you're not somebody that uses a camera, cool, you don't have to, but I'm talking about the people that do. I'm going to give a mini shout out to a new member of my Discord. His name's G Ninja. I found this guy just randomly through TikTok, which goes into what Lucky said, post shorts. I found him through some shorts, and it was a hilarious situation. I was literally posting an Elden Ring clip, and I watched his clip because, you get on TikTok to post and you just keep scrolling, you doom scrolling, and you forget to post. You forget to post your own video. His video was exactly the same as my video. It was the same situation, same exact spot, same thing happened, and we almost had the exact same reaction. I was like, what the hell? That's so funny. So I liked his stuff, followed him, and then I posted my video and I tagged him in it. And then since then, it's history. We've been friends. My point is, he's a brand new streamer. He just hit affiliate. Shout out to him. I had no idea because he was so comfortable on camera. And he talked and he kept talking. It was just so good. Like just the production value of watching him immediately. I would have said he's been streaming as long as I have or more. Like he's that fucking good. Like it was great. It was a great watch. And I was hooked. I couldn't take my eyes off the screen. So if you're a new person, that's going to take chair time. Sit in the chair. For him, obviously he didn't. He's a little bit older of a guy. And he just knew that he told himself, and I asked him, he said, I got on here not expecting anything. And I've gotten so much in the 6 months. That's perfect. Expect nothing. But my thing is it's going to take chair time to get comfortable if you are uncomfortable. But my biggest tip for those new guys is go back and watch your VOD and watch it. Can you not take your eyes off yourself? You know, if you're getting bored with your own content, like you're watching your stream and you're like finding yourself looking away or wanting to scroll TikTok or something on your phone instead, that tells you all you need to know right there. If you're not hooked into your own content, nobody else is. And that to me, when I started doing that, go ahead, Luke.
I was gonna say that's a good point. Not for only that, but also to see like things that you can fix your audio, your image quality. You know, like if you realize that your game is louder than your mic and people can't hear you, or vice versa, maybe your mic's too loud. You know, it's always helpful to go back and just watch and try to make small corrections.
Absolutely,
that's right. And anything you don't know, you can always pull up a YouTube video and figure out how to do it. Like if you don't know how to duck your audio source, there's a real easy way to learn. Go on YouTube, look up a video. How do I make my mic louder than my game audio? And then just going to bring up ducking, which is going to tell you that you can lower the sound of your game whenever you talk. It'll raise your mic and lower your game.
Yep.
Which always
I know this. I actually know this cool dude named Aztecan who just started doing some stuff about like doing some YouTube videos about that. And, you know, he's pretty good at explaining it.
I definitely talk too much. You know, I go back and I watch those YouTube videos, those tutorials. I am wordy, you know, but I tell you guys in the beginning of those videos, like this is for somebody that knows nothing about computers. I'm trying to be very thorough. You know, I definitely want to go back and make like a mini fast series and just redo every video, but do it just like boom, 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 boom for people that know what they're doing. I think that'd help me out.
Oh, that.
But
the Aztec masterclass.
If you guys are searching
shorts and link it,
that's smart. Those things, it's called audio clipping. So if you guys are going to look it up and find somebody's video, it's definitely your audio's clipping because it's just too much for your mic or too much for your setup. But not only are you going to get to figure out what you need to do, and 9 times out of 10 when you're new, you're just not talking. You know, you're looking at your number of viewers and you're kind of slumped in and just like, man, nobody's here. Oh well, I'm just gonna chill and play my game. That's wrong. If you get to that point, you should just end your stream at that point and just play your game if you're gonna be unmotivated. But then you can go back and get content. You can go back and clip things while you're watching it to put that content out, like you said. So I think who was it? I was watching somebody the other day and they said you never know who's lurking. You never know who's watching.
Never know.
You know, Tim the Tap Man could be lurking around the corner looking for somebody to raid out to, and he does this often where he's like, all right, let's watch this guy for a minute, and he tries to chat with them, and they don't chat or they're just seem uninterested. He moves on. You never know who's going to be there. You know, you could be a lucky overnight sensation just because of that.
And a big pet peeve for me, if I'm trying to find someone new, is if they got followers only chat on, I just immediately go away from it. I'm like, no.
I gotta follow you to talk to you, dog? Hell no.
Right.
Yeah, it's not my favorite thing, but whatever. That's your own choice. If you're newer, I don't recommend doing that though. I think it's also very important to kind of take a look at yourself and figure out what your strengths and weaknesses are. Because not everyone has the same strengths and weaknesses.
Right.
Like he was talking about his friend who is comfortable in the chair. So he's already a social person. He already has those skills. He knows he has those. So he's going to lean into that.
Yeah.
Now, if you're somebody that doesn't have those social skills, maybe you're more of a shy person, then that's something you're going to have to work really hard to get good at.
Absolutely.
And it's more difficult to get good at that than some of the other skills. It is, because that goes against everything that you're doing normally in real life, right? So you just got to be honest with yourself and then apply as much effort to those weaknesses and make those into your strengths. Because there's a lot of streamers that are actually, kind of reserved, quiet whenever they're not streaming, but their personality on camera is a lot bigger and always motivated, always talking.
What's his name? The YouTuber with the long hair, Asmongold.
Asmongold.
You watch his stream and you think he's like a jock almost. Like obviously like he's got the nerdy body build, right? But you think he's like confident and he's like overbearing. And then he just did an interview thing or podcast or whatever, and they're asking him about like why he looked so awkward at TwitchCon, and he was like, my anxiety was through the roof. So exactly what you just said is he's one of those people that they're not very social IRL. Like they put him in an IRL situation and it's like, ooh, way down. So Yeah, man. That's what I love about it is, and there's a big difference. We've talked about this before in past episode. Like, there's a difference between being fake and having a persona. There's a big difference in those two things, So, and I love that. Stream lets you have a persona, it lets you be who you are. But I always think it's funnier the longer you get into your career, the more the real you and your persona start to intertwine, and then everybody just gets to see the real you eventually. You know what I mean? I love that whenever there's new streamers.
Yep. Definitely a cool experience going from knowing nothing to, knowing a little bit more and still knowing nothing. Because let's face it, we don't know everything.
Oh, it's stuff. I feel like in this industry, I feel like our stuff is changing constantly. We got new graphics cards coming out. We've got new this coming out. Hey, there's this update. Hey, this tool does this. Like, Stream Elements is now offering multi-streaming. Like how? Like, well, that's crazy. Like, it's just the upgrades, man. There's upgrades. We're looking at possibly losing or gaining apps here and there, which we'll talk about in a future episode. But like, that stuff's just crazy, dude. Like, the industry is constantly evolving, constantly changing. And to circle back to your question of like what new streamers should do, if you're a little bit more established, maybe you've been doing this a year or two, I would say you work on your networking, or kind of evaluate your time. Are you streaming 6 days a week, 8 hours? Are you streaming 5 days a week, 10 hours? Like, whatever it is you're doing, look at that and look for cuts. Like, look at the beginning of your stream. Is your beginning hyped? Are a lot of people coming in there? If they're not, I would cut the beginning of your stream and work on editing those videos or networking during that time instead. And same for the end of your stream. If you get to the 6 hour, 7 hour mark of your stream and the last hour or two are like completely dead, nobody's there, cut it and go work on yourself. Edit your videos. Spend more time with your people. If you have family or whatever at the house, like, cut those, because there's unnecessary fat, which is unnecessary stress. And that's just more of you looking at a 1 viewer account, a no viewer account, and being in your own head for no reason. That's what I would do.
Oh yeah.
So that's pretty much all I got.
Yeah, I think a lot of the time you should, instead of just being live, you should be doing other things.
Yeah.
Because in anything, you're only productive for so many hours a day, right? Like, I can't do stuff for 24 hours a day. So if I want to edit something, I want to stream, I want to create shorts, I want to make sure I'm posting, I want to interact with other people, I want to network, you have to have enough time for that in a day. If you have a full-time job that's already, 8 to 12 hours, depending on how many hours you're working and your ride home and everything.
Right.
So then you're wanting to stream on top of that. So how am I going to do 8 hours working, a 7-hour stream, sleep, and still edit a video? It's not possible.
Not feasible. Yeah.
You can't do it. There's no way you can do it if you're going to sleep. Either you're giving up sleeping, you're giving up streaming, you're giving up something. You can't give up your job because you got to pay the bills.
Sacrificed.
I think you can look into the camera at all three of us, and we're all pretty common with these lines under our eyes. You see what we're sacrificing? We're sacrificing that whole sleep.
Exactly.
That's sad, but hilarious.
You got to know what you're doing and use that time wisely. Absolutely. So instead of doing that 7-hour stream, maybe you only stream for like 3 hours, and then focus on using that time that you were streaming. And I learned something from a buddy of mine, Nasty Natty Gaming, that he streams like he's always making clips. So stream for your clips. So you're always hype, you're always excited, because any of those moments that something happens, you're already on, it's already ready. You don't have to act a certain way, because there's nothing worse than being like laid back, mellow, and then you hit this nasty freaking shot or something really cool happens. You have no energy in yourself until it happens, and then your energy just goes from, oh my god, you see that?
I've actually been in streams where they hit like crazy shots, and it's like, whoa, dude, you see that? Like, that was crazy, man.
I call those shit. What Sauce would describe it. I call those the cavemen, because they're like sitting there like, like just out of nowhere freaking out.
Look, guys, it's so easy a caveman can do it.
Exactly.
I did it.
Okay, right now we're gonna get sued by Geico. Nice. Okay, we're gonna get sued. Love that. Editing that out.
They never coined it.
They might sue us with 15 minutes or less and save some money on their cartridge.
Not sponsored. Um, no, I just think there's a lot. I mean, we could sit here and go on for a bunch more hours, guys. Honestly, at the end of the day, just evaluate yourself. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Turn your weaknesses into strengths and strengthen your strengths even more. Fortify yourself. And, you know, we could sit here and give you all the advice in the world, but there's no right or wrong answer. And I think, like Sauce said, everybody's different. Everybody's a beautiful snowflake. Everybody has their own different talents and wants and needs and niches. I think that's important things. But I think a lot of what we're talking about is the baseline makeup of just understanding, like, how to better yourself. Look at yourself. Look yourself in the mirror, you know. When you cut off that fat, you cut off that time, use it. Don't cut off that time and go watch, you know, 5 seasons of The Office. Like, you've already seen that show 1,000 times. Stop. Okay.
It's my favorite show.
Get in there, lurk with people in your niche. I think that's a really big word and misunderstanding is like, oh, I'm an Elden Ring streamer, but I'm going to be lurking in Tarkov streamer all day and networking with Tarkov people. That makes 0 sense unless you're going to play Tarkov. Like, if you never stream that, you never do that for your content, that makes 0 sense to do. You need to go be hanging out with your niche. And, you know, like Sauce is my buddy and he does Tarkov, so I'm in there. So it's like, hey, you're not following your own advice. That's different. I'm not using that time to network.
Nope, done. It did already.
But long story short, the only person that can set y'all up for success is yourself. No one else is going to do it for you.
Me?
Definitely not that stream coach that's charging you $50 or $60 per session. Definitely not the person that's going to set you up for success. You got to learn this yourself and figure it out. Don't pay people money. Don't pay people money.
Look, he has no words. I mean, you can pay me money by watching my tutorials on YouTube.
I mean, that's not paying you money. That's paying you with time, which I'm okay with.
I like that. Hey, time is money. All right, guys. Well, I think that's it. Any questions, guys? If you're on a platform that allows it, drop comments below. Let us know. Like the freaking video. I think every platform has a like button, up thumb, whatever, up vote. Do it. Okay. Help us push out to other creators that might be looking for us. Much love, you guys. This has been the Stream PC. Our pleasure. We will see you guys later.